Hello and welcome back. This is Ornavo Chaudhary, and you are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. And it's Monday, July the 15th, 2024. It's the day after the finals of the European Football Championships. So, yes, I at least can say that Spain have won the Euros. We'll also talk and chat about the latest that is happening in Indian football as well. So yeah, welcome, as I say once again, back to here to my channel, and therefore let's have a discussion, talk about things, and let's see where this conversation, where this evening chat tonight takes us. Moral Spain winner satisfaction. I at least I'm happy, to be very, very honest, that Spain has won the Euros. If I'm honest, I think overall the best team in the tournament has won the tournament. Doesn't always happen, be it at these national team events or Champions League and other thing. So for me, that's a big thing. And I've done a video on this, so if you haven't watched, more than welcome later on after this live. You can hop over to my videos and then watch what I have for you all and what thoughts I have on this matter. I said I'm very, very happy that Spain has won it, and I think they deservedly won it. The better team won, and for me, 2-1 in the end. Of course, looks very close. There was even the phase in the second half where England look for 5-6 minutes. They might swing the whole thing around and might cause an upset. But then in the end, Saga with the winner for Spain, and deserving win. I watched it with friends in a Spanish restaurant here in Remscheid last night, and then partied a little bit. Let's see where the Spanish team goes, because it's very talented. Of course, it has some older players in there. I guess Jesus Navas might have played his last tournament at 38. But if you see that Lamine Yamal is just 17, I think there's a lot of potential in this Spanish squad for the future. Nico Williams as well, standout tournament for him. Rodri, player of the tournament, which I can only second. Great to see that. So therefore, congratulations, Spain, on lifting the Euros. 1 second. Well, good evening, Jen Joylian. Good evening also, Igor Stimac. Morali, does ISL improve standard of play or still remain same? Morali, I think certain players improve, certain players remain the same, certain players don't improve. So that's the reality for any league. So I think you can't generalize it in that way. Let's see. Fighting spirit is lacking in Indian football because of structure or Indian player intent. I wouldn't say that it's a difficult one to answer simply, Murali, because I think for me the intent in the players is always there in some sort of form of way. I think that sometimes the intent doesn't show. I think that's a reality. That's something that I see. But on the other side, yes, is the structure, is the high salaries, with all that, is it this, is there pride to represent the country? All these factors play in, and at the moment, it's not the way it should be, in my opinion. Maybe it should be different, but should be better. You see, should Sahal move out of Mohun Bagan's Supergiant, given he will not start most of the matches? His number 10 position will be occupied with foreigner. Good question, Igor Stimac. again, Sahal has to see. He had a very good start at Mohun Bagan initially last season. Then the injury came in, and since then he's not been consistent. And a player like him needs that support. He needs that, that backing also within the team, within the club. And the question would be, given these realities, as you also say, um, will there be a number 10 position also? I don't know how Molina will shape up in that way. We'll have to see. I think he'll have a look at the players and then he'll decide on how he'll shape the team up. But for me, um, I think it's difficult for him also because again we come to the fact that Sahal is one of the highest paid Indian footballers in the ISL. And I think no other club would offer him the money that Mohun Bagan is offering him. So then we come back to this old discussion we're having with the younger players, also now with some senior Indian national team players is, do you choose career over money? And that is something we've seen that, we will see that, we'll talk about other players as well today, I guess, that the players are choosing money over career. Right. If payment reduced as a player, what will happen? Morally, payment reduced, who will do that? That's my question. We've had Mohun Bagan um, pushing the envelope. Mohun Bagan super giant. It was early also Atletico Kolkata 80K where they were pushing the envelope a little in that front. But now the blame can't be on one team, right? Because the others are following up and the others are also spending a lot. East Bengal is spending a lot of money this season. Bangalore is spending a lot of money this season. Mumbai spends money. Goa spends money. Odisha, Blasters, all the teams are spending money. You know. So if I look at the standard of football, again, I go back and we've been speaking about this quite regularly in the last few days. That I say, if we look at the standard and the money that is being paid, yes, and of course the losses that the clubs incur. So to me, it's a very very difficult scenario. I don't see anyone pulling the plug and saying, you know what, I'll pay the players less. You know, not happening. So therefore, not gonna happen. Foreigners better in forward position compared to Indian players because they grow better structure system. Yeah, most probably that's the reason. Again, it's not attacking positions. Let's look at all over the field. It depends on where you're born, right? But again, most of the foreigners are coming out of football countries where their basics are better, right? So therefore, these guys come to India with a better understanding, with a better technique, with a better positioning sense, and that helps them. So therefore, it is something which is an advantage. What would be your advice to Thapa and Tangri given Apuya, a foreign CDM, and Dimi will play in midfield is not good for our team if our regular national team players become bench players? Um, I've heard Tangri has been linked with Punjab FC. I like that idea. Deepak Tangri could be a key player from Punjab FC, and therefore, if there's an opportunity. But again, if we'll have to wait and see what happens to Anwar Ali, because that is, I think, another situation that is arising. And if Anwar Ali suddenly is no longer there at Mohun Bagan, then the requirement for Deepak Tangri is a little higher than it was earlier. So that's a challenge. So therefore, for me, that would be that. Thapa is a very interesting scenario. Again, we're talking Apuya is going to come in, Apuya is going to run it. We saw last season Thapa came in, Thapa is going to play, and suddenly Abhishek Suryavanshi was playing. So therefore, that is going to be a test, I think, for quite a number of players, senior national team or even under 23 players, who's going to get how much of game time at Mohun Bagan. And with that midfield, that's a huge challenge. That's a huge challenge overall to see how you will structure the whole thing because uh, you know you know uh, and it's, yeah, it's to me is something. For Thapa, that's a difficult one. Again, with Tangri, Punjab FC, a club like that makes sense. But for Thapa, again, we come back as with Sahal. Um, we're coming to speak about the money part, where I think it's a difficult one for him because he will not get that money anywhere else. So therefore, that is the question. Then, what do I choose? Do I choose my career, or do I choose money? And it's not just it's not just an Indian football thing. It's around the world. Yeah, let's see what they're going to do. Sorry, it's getting warmer again, and my hay fever. Hay, it's not fever. It's an allergy. So therefore, a little bit of a running nose. General announcer, when will AFF announce AFF players of the year 23-24? Normally, it's done in July at some stage, mm, August in the last few years. So therefore, I would hope it will happen in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Rohit, the promotion relegation model for IS and Iron League will introduce the competition first team to the last team in the leagues. Um, there is promotion relegation in the I League. It has always been there since the second year of the NFL in 1997, 1998. You've got promotion and relegation in those leagues. In the ISL, I think it's a little different. As someone who was involved in the roadmap, my feeling is the spend of an ISL team and the spend of an I League team is such a gulf. I think the danger is if certain teams get relegated, will they stay or will they go? We've had this case with the I League as well. Certain teams came in, got relegated, and then left. So this is not a new story. Let's wait and see what they do. But the comp again last season the competition was good in the ISL, wasn't it? I mean, if Hyderabad had the money, I think Hyderabad would have been also involved in the playoff race, and then suddenly no team would have been left without a chance to get into the playoffs. So therefore, this logic of the competition gets better for me. I think the question is rather, can you restrict it, make it smaller, and then make it more competitive because we don't have the player pool. What I said yesterday. If you haven't watched it, watch that video because I spoke about it quite at length. Where I feel we need to work around those things. Are we spending less money in grassroots? ISL, we spend chunk of money. We need to turn grassroots better to only. It is a problem around the world that a lot of money is spent at the top of the pyramid and much less money is spent at the bottom of the pyramid. It's a global thing, right? But again, in developed football nations or even in developing football nations, you spend a certain amount of X% on your grassroots and your youth development. And I think that there are clubs in the ISL where 80-90% of the money is spent on players, right? So that is something, if I see a Mohun Bagan spending as much, where I would say, listen, if you could get Mohun Bagan to do something and say 5 to 10 crores of that money goes towards grassroots and youth development, I think they would be producing their own players in the next 7 to 10 years, quality players, and that is something which, but I don't think anyone will do it in such a big way. Of course, we've seen BFC do a lot. We've seen FC Goa do a lot at grassroots level, at youth level. But again, are they producing really the talent which is going to make the difference? So that's the challenge that I see. Igor, your thoughts on AFF announcing new head of development? Vivek Nagul has been appointed, someone who's not only worked in India, was long connection to Ara FC, the team from Gujarat, worked in East Africa. I think it was Tanzania where Vivek worked, if I'm not wrong. And therefore, let's see. He's for coaches development. We've spoken about the budgets or non-availability of budgets. So therefore, it is something that will go via Indian coaches at the moment. We don't have the money really to try and bring in someone from abroad. So therefore, that's a reality at the moment. So therefore, I wish Vivek all the best, and let's wait and see if he can make a difference or not. We've spoken about Shabir Pasha. We've spoken about Vivek Subramanian as the technical department guys. They bring in now Vivek, and I hope these guys can make a difference. Do you think Middle East has better structured development than India? Like, as far as whether good because of money. Um, Aspire Academy is, I've seen that is if you look at the infrastructure is one of the best in the world. They have some of the best coaches in the world, not only in football but in other sports. Qatar has been successful in Olympic sports as well. So therefore, for me, yes, because their structure and development is not just about infrastructure but also about talent development. They've given exposure to talents in Europe, and that makes them much better than other countries. Which India player disappointed most, didn't live up to expectations? Morally, I'm not going to name any individual in that way. I've had a lot of players where I expected a lot, um, and therefore, we've had every generation has had its players where I would have said, or I would have expected something to come out of them that they could be, um, Indian national team players, long-term national team players, and then others come through. Very good example is Sunil Chhetri. I think a lot of people 20 years ago would not have said that Sunil Chhetri would have the career that Sunil has had and is having. You know, RCB Run Machine, welcome back. So, what do you think of the matches in Euros? Gareth Southgate is equals too much in squad, but it depends on individual goods, which we don't have. See, that's my thought process as well. RCB Run Machine. To me, England with that potential, that attacking firepower, should be much better. And I'm surprised today that a lot of blame is going on Harry Kane. That Harry Kane is this, Harry Kane is that. Well, but my question is like, where was Jude Bellingham yesterday? He was bad, right? And if you saw him a few weeks ago for Real Madrid, or he was exceptional. So the question is this team really, playing the best? Can it play the best? To me, Southgate is not getting the best out of his team, and therefore, for me, the better team won. England never should have gotten as close as they did. At 1-1, there was this phase where I thought, ooh, maybe England could now nick it for 5-6 minutes. But yeah, again, Spain were the best in this tournament, maybe only to be challenged by Germany. Those two were most probably the best overall. But again, football is such with knockout matches, the best teams don't always win. And he's getting the results too. Yeah, but I think that's the thing, right? For England, it's coming home. Of course, was a big thing in 1996 when they hosted the Euros and Germany won it. At Wembley against the Czech Republic. And since then, they've been saying it's coming home. I think it was funny for a while. Now I think most people in Europe are just fed up of it. And there is no natural inclination for England, or it's sometimes what I feel the Brazilians have, and the Brazilians had to learn it the hard way at home against Germany when they lost 7-1, that there is no natural inclination for any country to say, listen, this trophy belongs to me. Or, so therefore, let's see. Watch very poor management, very poor pitches, horrible condition, and the gameplay of both the teams in that final was not up to the mark, far below Euro matches. Um, Again, I've watched a little bit of highlights of the Copa overall. Yeah, it's for me. Um, so therefore, I mean, to compare the Euros to the Copa is just disgraceful. You're comparing the best continental competition to a shady one. Sorry to say that, right? Some of the matches looked like they were more, fighting matches, organization poor. Look at the whole thing with people without tickets entering the stadium. It looked like Wembley 2021, right? So look at the pictures from Germany and look at the pictures from the US, then you realize what the difference was or is. So therefore, in 2024, surely for me the Euros were a much better competition than the Copa. Do you think Africa's better development system compared to India? Morally, saying that it has a better development system might be a little easy, but to me, they create more players, right? So therefore, yeah, maybe I don't think they have a better development system, but they're producing players. So therefore, no, nothing. Any news on which teams will come to India in September from your sources? At the moment, none. There was some talks about some countries coming in regard to the Intercontinental Cup, but so far the AFF has not been able to confirm which, yeah, which country or countries will be our opponents. Blue, welcome back. Hello, sir. Spain and Argentina won. That means Finalissima will be fire. Yeah, let's wait and see. Yeah, that should be an exciting game. RCB Run Machine, I've noticed one thing: African players and Indian players show good promise till they're 18, 19, but most of the African players go above forever, whereas our players are here. That's a reality. Yep, that's a huge reality. But also, don't forget, a lot of African players these days are born and brought up in Europe and the European football system, so their basics are better, right? That's why players of origin, it's a non-starter as a topic for me. It's something which has helped a lot of countries around the world. Rohit, hi. Do you see former Indian football players are getting job work opportunities within the Indian football ecosystem now that the players from the 70s get similar? See, some of the players is gonna get opportunities. In the past, a lot of players also used to work for banks, for the police, for the army, for services in general. So that used to be for the railways as well. And nowadays, yeah, they have opportunities, a lot of opportunities. Ex-players get opportunities in the system, yeah. Who will be your Ballon d'Or pick now? Mine, Rodri. I said that yesterday. If Spain win, if I look at Spain's biggest advantage is it was a team effort, and to me, Rodri was the standout in that team effort. I would say. I mean, that guy is as a holding six is just boom. I mean, incredible what he's been playing for City, even before the Atletico, and then now for Spain. So therefore, yeah, that's exceptional. And if it would ask me, I don't see anyone who's outperformed him this season for club and country to be able to win the Ballon d'Or or to pick up the FIFA Football Awards. But again, you know how these are decided, and it's always been about what certain captains, coaches, journalists decide. So let's wait and see. Hi Deepak, where's Jixon headed? Not decided. At the moment it looks like he will leave the Blasters. But again, that looked like the same thing last year. In the end, he stayed. So let's wait and see what he does. I'm gonna make a video about it, and then and talk about it. Let's see. Can we compare Southgate to Igor? Well, in a way, I'm saying yes, because Southgate, I don't like the football that he plays. With that England squad, which has evolved over the last few tournaments, he's not getting the results. In the sense of playing and winning. I think at the end of the day, winning counts, especially in England, it counts. Of course, they'll say, oh, we are better than earlier coaches, blah, blah. But, I don't know. Do you think BFC had become old foreign players club? OFC, yeah. But again, those guys know how to get around in the ISL. So, I wouldn't call them an old age sort of club. I would surely say that they know what they're doing. And BFC, yeah, they're looking at ISL experienced players. So yeah, let's wait and see what they can do with that squad. Sorry. US is going to host FIFA World Cup with such horrible atmosphere and conditions. Last year it was Qatar. Is it really good to let countries with less football host such tournaments? I think with the US, I think we need to say that CONMEBOL was the organizer, and it just shows you how CONMEBOL organizes tournaments. Look at, for example, how the AFC organized the AFC Asian Cup. So therefore, that is an example. I think the atmosphere wasn't bad. The atmosphere is going to be great. I think even in Qatar, the atmosphere wasn't bad. And then let's wait and see. We've got 2 years to go for the World Cup, or a little less than 2 years to go for the World Cup. But it's a warning sign. It surely is a warning sign. As, for example, I think it will be for England. What has happened at Wembley in 2021, or even now at the Champions League final with the Streakers. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. After the injury of Messi, will he play World Cup 2027? Blue, it's the big question. Is he going to be fit enough to play another big tournament, which could be 7-8 matches for him? At this moment, I don't see that happening, to be very honest. So difficult to say at this moment. Let's see how he plays next year in the MLS. I think 2025 is going to be important in that, how he plays in that. And I think Messi is a different kind of character than Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo has become a little bit of a passenger for the Portuguese, is becoming a little bit of a liability. And that's the question, if Messi is going to be that important figure that the team, rallies around, as they've done. That's why they won the World Cup. That's why they've now won the Copas. So therefore, very interesting to see how they're going to do it. Is Mumbai City in Jacksonville, or are they going for other player, Putea, Vivian, any other player? Mumbai City is in the market for defensive midfielder. I initially thought they were in the running for Jigson. At the moment, doesn't seem to be. It looks to be more East Bengal, Mohun Bagan. But again, as long as Jigson doesn't sign anywhere, I think it's possible that Jigson could go to either East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, maybe even Mumbai City, or maybe even stay with the Blasters. So therefore, that's something which we'll have to wait. England versus Germany, which better player development process? Morally, both are very, very good. What's up with Rostin? So his Twitter poll, is he returned to ISL in any capacity? Don't know anything, but yeah, could happen. He's been there. He liked the country, he liked the ISL. So yeah. The federation is less accountable in football. What about world football compared to India? Morally, there are other, again, look at CONMEBOL and the chaos of the Copa, right? So therefore, there are federations, confederations where you have problems. So yeah, it's not an Indian only problem. Oops, sorry. Martinez from can win it too. Ballon d'Or, you mean? Yeah, Blue could be, but again, Argentina and Inter, I don't know, Spain and Premier League sounds to me a little bigger. At least Southgate doesn't blame everyone except himself and brags about himself. No, he doesn't. But again, he's not finding the solutions. To me, that's the problem, right? As a coach, you have to find solutions. He's not been finding solutions now for 4 tournaments. I mean, again, England has been in 2 finals, great, but yeah, with that quality, with that potential, you can get. Are you surprised England not getting that's the kind of football they play like Brazil and Germany? No. They've gotten away, right? Again, 1-0 loss, 4-0 loss, doesn't matter. They got away. Slovakia, Switzerland, Netherlands, that's all matches that they could have lost, So, yeah. Rohit Chingansana Singh was doing good in the national team. His family got affected by the human rights. It seems like he is MIA. Thoughts on his talent potential as centre back? See, Sana is one of those players who, yes, have been massively affected what has happened in Manipur, sadly, over a year ago. And to me, someone who hopefully will have a better ISL season this year, and the new national team coach gives him a chance. We need players like him, so therefore I would hope. But yeah, you never know. Again, these are human tragedies, and these are human problems. So I hope it gets sorted and something better comes out of it. So in how many years do you think Indian clubs can compete with the best in ACL, or we start taking everything seriously from now onwards? Even again, and we're not taking things seriously. That's the first problem, right? So RCB Run Machine, a theoretical question. uh, for me, could be 5 years, could be 10 years, you know, and yeah, it's a difficult question to answer for me because at the end of the day, this is not a hypothetical question. This is a real, in reality, we have to live in reality, right? So therefore, it's not something, it could happen, for example, that an Indian team has luck and gets through the tournament, right? And then suddenly is in but we're talking about ACL too, and not even talking about ACL. To get into ACL, we have to be successful in Asia. So therefore, that looks to me very, very difficult at the moment. So do you think Japan, Korea, Saudi have reached their maximum potential football nation, like in the sense so that you see them entering top 10 in the world? Good question. Very good question. Sorry. I would say Japan can. I think Japan are the closest of these, if of the three of yeah. But Korea also, but Korea's next generation will be interesting. We've had now a generation of Yoon Son, sort of, and the others. Let's see if the younger ones are better. Saudi has a long way to go, I think. I think for them to improve, you'll need another generation of footballers, I think. But Japan could theoretically enter the top 10, yes. But again, top 10 sounds always very easy. I think even being in the top 20 is an achievement for an Asian team. Our youth doesn't take care properly compared to China. They don't done brilliant, again, administration issue. Yeah, well, amongst other things. Hey, Navda, good to see you again. Great night of global football. It was yesterday. Yeah, surely it was. Great football, especially in Berlin, I would say. I think things around the stadium in Miami weren't the best, but it's over. I mean, it was great fun, and now we're waiting for the season to start. Sir, you gotta give the name of centre back Mumbai have signed, please, sir. Debru, as I said, I'm not one of those who, if he gets to know something and people have told me in confidence, I will not release the names. So I keep the trust of the people. PFC are going for Hamel. Royston will be good due to this can happen, and PFC go for them. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see for whom Punjab are going. Just heard AFF looking to replace Chawade with a foreign coach. I think it was long overdue. Couldn't see lagging behind in women's football as well. Deepak, it's something, that they need to do, and they've now realized it. And again, let's see. Hamilton signed for Melbourne victory. Thanks, RCB run machine. So yeah, Van Hamel is not going to be coming back to India, at least this season. Blue Bajaj posting tweets saying Mohammad Majid not replying. Anwar stems me asking for permanent deal as a deaf victim card from Delhi FC. Your opinion? See, the point is, again, and I've said this in the videos that I've made, Mohun Bagan have a 4-year deal. I understand from Anwar's position potentially to say, listen, I want a permanent deal. Now, there is, again, I think, to me, it felt like that it is trying to get out of that situation and trying to sign a deal, because I think a lot of people are scared what might happen next year or the year after if FSPL by any chance pull out. That's why you see a lot of players moving here, left, right, and center, wanting crazy deals, because you never know, this whole system might implode. That's one. Secondly, they know that they are not going to sign a permanent deal with the player for the money that they've signed him for, right? Because the others who've come in have signed deals which are much, much higher. So therefore, they're trying to, it's indirectly, it's sort of blackmailing them into the situation. So therefore, it is, for me, it doesn't work. Again, if you want a permanent deal, that's great. But if the club says, no, I'm fine with whatever status I have, again, it has to be mutual. It can't be one way. And this is the problem that you have. That here you see a player wants a certain thing, but if you've committed, then you've committed, right? It's if someone has a work contract, you have to live with it. If you're unhappy, terminate it. Let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, he's gone to Melbourne Victory. Sanskar, Tiger Shroff's new club, what's your view? In future, it can interesting Ranbir versus Tiger Shroff and ISA 2 Mumbai club fighting each other. Mumbai Derby at least. साल लगेंगे ऐसे में आने में. Sanskar, I think sorry. Is Tiger Shroff really Mumbai with the YFC? Is he a stakeholder or is he just been made a brand ambassador for the club? I was not very clear yesterday when I saw it. So if someone knows really if it is, I felt he was just, yeah, it's something that would be interesting to see. Again, for Mumbai, it would be good if the club gets through the system, I-League 3, I-League 2, at least into the I-League, and then let's see what happens in the future. But at the moment, I don't see them being an ISL candidate in the short term. As you say, maybe 5, 6, 7 years it might take to get there. Check on the street, I'm honestly giving a blind ear to Anwar's 10 plus emails. Yeah, but Devrup, if you, again, for me, there are two things. Yeah, you can send mails. And I'm sure there have been phone calls on the matter as well, which you're not going to talk about because I think Mohun Bagan clearly said, guys, we are fine with this loan deal. We're not renegotiating the contract and we're not signing the player on a permanent deal. This is a money play, what is happening. And this is, yeah. Yeah, it's not something which is right, I feel. I personally feel modern football more about physical aspects. In times Zidane, Ronaldinho, football was more natural flair. Yeah, agree. And start, they're already feeling so bored, they're broke. Yeah, let's wait and see. Nixon, better late than never. Hello, Nixon, welcome back. Good to see you. Why don't we hire a different coach for senior under 23 team? We did, right? I mean, if we have an under 23 team, that's the thing. Bro, I see very different when an A-League somebody joins Indian club. Yeah, Sanskar. RCB Run Machine, Aymeric Laporte has still got the bit to play for best teams in Europe when he's just 13. After 1 year, must have earned a lot of money. Why don't, but don't know what goes on in their mind. Yeah, but the thing is, again, it's about money. We've been speaking on Indian football. The thing is the same thing. Anyone who tells me, oh, Saudi Arabia is great, that's why I've gone there. No, it's all about the money. And again, most of you would do the same thing if you had the opportunities to get the money, salaries per se. You would move to a country where you could make that kind of money. That's the reality. So therefore, yeah, that's the same thing. Anwar deal becoming boring now. Sanskar's view. Have ever made plans if ever still moves out? Ayush, nothing. Anwar deal now looking like Ekta Kapoor serial according to Sanskar. Sanskar, you were enjoying that fight. Shame. Blue. The team that ruined the market moving are the Kolkata clubs. Mumbai is a very professional matter and doesn't tolerate unthinkable demands. Yeah, but again, yes, but again, you've signed as Mumbai City, Akash on a huge deal. Even Jangte was re-signed on a huge deal. All these players, again, to me, is that valuation there for these players to get the money that they're getting? I say no. That's my clear-cut approach to these things, right? So that's what I say is one of the biggest problems. Blue, what fight? No one even touching each other. Sanskar. Your thoughts on FIFA banning Russia based on political reasons? I think for me, and I've said this, right decision by FIFA and by the IOC to do that. And again, it's football is one thing, but we also have to talk when we talk about Olympic sports about a massive state-sponsored doping in Russia. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Asif Ramesh, I think in few years' time, Indonesia will not completely depend on PR because recently they had the U17 World Cup and they will bank on these players, something which we have done in 2017. Yeah, let's wait and see. But the point is, Asfi Run Machine, if you are having players of origin, for example, coming out of the Dutch league, they will be better any day than your players in Indonesia. Period. That's the thing. Arito, do you think on Mohammed stamp on Anwar is right? And if for person I feel it so, but being devil for once, it could also be their ego that's stopping them from signing Anwar Ali. I don't think it's an ego thing. As I said, it's a money thing. It's to me, it's a very simple thing. Listen, you earn this. We signed a 4-year deal. It is on loan, yes. Delhi is getting money every year or whatever the cycle is. So to me, that's very, very clear that it's there, right? And you want to now say, listen, cancel this deal, and sign me permanently. You're not in a situation of that, tomorrow Mohun Bagan is going to terminate your loan deal. If Mohun Bagan tomorrow terminate your loan deal, Mohun Bagan will have to pay you out for the rest of your loan deal until 2027. So therefore, I think, to me, as per my understanding, as I said, this is my understanding and this is my reading of what is available. I think it's not an ego thing. Therefore, I think they're right to do that. If the player does what he's done, it's not good. How do you rate our youth players' basic technical ability? Morally, not the best. So therefore, for me, as I've said, we need to get better. So how is Germany for education? I mean, language proficiency. Yeah, you need German. If you can't speak German, no chance. As India has a good chance in futsal becoming great, we'll have to see. Futsal is a young sport in India. Let's hope that we get better and the national team gets better. Let's see. Hi, Dark Knight. If Hamza pulls out, will the system collapse? Dark Knight, that's a danger. That's a danger. That's a real danger that I see. And I don't know if it will happen or, as I said, it could happen. But to me, it is a real danger. Nixon, is there any update on Ego versus AFF about compensation bid? Nothing. Yeah, nothing at the moment. Bro, what happened? 100 crore Mohun Bagan team. Sanskar, it's easy for you to try and build such a team. The question is are you going to get the players that you think you're going to get? And I think that's the thing. You have to convince players to come to India and to the ISL. That is not easy. That's very, very difficult, and that's what's happening. So since the takeover of CFJ Mumbai City, I thought that they will have the correct evaluation of Otsaris. What's your thoughts? Yeah, you can do a correct evaluation. Your problem is going to be then you're not going to be able to sign the players, right? You can say, listen, the player is worth, I don't know, 1,000. But the player's getting 10,000, 100,000. So are you going to play with, I don't know, inferior players just to prove a point? It's not going to work. You said Indian players overpaid based on poor techniques or first touch, not quality, is not up, or technique or basics. It's the overall package model. It's not one thing only. How much money is too much money for Indian players? Dark Knight, that's the most difficult one, because if you look at the standard of football we play, is being a professional in an Indian context actually right? Right? In other parts of the world, you would say, it's that's the question. It's a very difficult one, I know. Who would blame for India poor performance? Is administration player or coach, individual player potential? All of them. Murali, everything is that you mentioned is a problem. It's simple to just blame either the administration player or the coach. All of them are at fault. Sanskar, bro, what happened? 100 team is just fake rumors, or next season will make any update that suddenly that rumor is invincible? Has anyone from Mohun Bagan said that? Simple question, right? They want to build a good team, and they want to spend more. But are they able to get the players that they thought they could get? Most probably not. So that's the reality. Shupriyo, hi. Any insider news on Indian national team coach? Lots of contradictory news coming out about the coach. Anyone who's reporting anything on the coach is reporting wrongly because there is no news on the coach. 20th, supposedly, AFF people will sit down, look at the list, and then, make a short list. I've heard from a number of coaches now who are supposedly on all these lists that they've not applied themselves, so their agents potentially have applied. So therefore, that will be an interesting one. When you go and say, "Hey, listen, you applied for our job, we are interested," and they say, "I'm not in the market." And there, of course, there are also coaches who are at the moment contracted to other nations or to clubs. So let's see, let's see what it is. Oritro Sadiko Chukera, any news you have on this? Said deal and news on Jackson. On Jackson, I said earlier, there's nothing at the moment. He's training with the Blasters. He has looked at the Blasters, to me, let's wait and see. He wants a better deal. Again, we're talking about money. East Bengal Mohun Bagan are surely in the market for the player. Will be interesting to see if Mumbai City jump in again. They tried last year, as far as I understand. So therefore, on Sadiku, there have been rumors in the last few days, last few hours, rather, because I think Sadiku realizes it might be difficult if another foreign striker comes in. He might be striker number 4. The Blasters are in the market for another striker, so let's wait and see if something happens. And of course, there was also talk potentially maybe a Jackson Sadiku switch, or maybe something else. Yeah, could be interesting. Let's wait and see. 1 crore above, 1 crore is too much money for a new player. Less than 1 crore. Sanskar, even if we're talking about crore, I feel it's way too much for Indian footballers at the moment. For the standard we play, it's way too much. Hi, Prasanjit. When will that day come when we will cheer for our own team in Asian Cup with hope of winning trophy and stop bothering about Euro and Copa? Prasanjit, it's a very philosophical question that you pose. I would hope, or the younger me would have hoped, that we would have been a little further down the road. That's why I say that 2019, I was lucky to be there in Abu Dhabi when we beat Thailand. That was, for me, the best experience in regard to an Indian national team at continental level. So therefore, for me, I don't know. I honestly, the younger me would have said 10 years, maybe 15 years. The older me now will not put a date to it because you don't know what's going to happen, right? So therefore, for me, it's not happened. In which level do you put Sahal and Brandon in Europe League? Murali, difficult to say because the leagues in Europe are competitive, and depending on teams and how they play, maybe 30 or 40 or maybe even lower. I don't know. We're honest. Do you think Gurpreet's earlier stint in Europe made him a strong or natural talent? Gurpreet is one of those who's worked his way up. Again, he's a Chandigarh Football Academy product, played for India at a very young age. Indian Arrows, East Bengal, and then the opportunity to go to Norway, and I think Norway was very important for him, and that's transformed him. So how much do you think mentality matters over skills in football? It matters if you're not the best. If you're a good quality player, it's, to me, for example, I think a good example at the moment is where I'm interested to see how that continues the next phase is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is one of the best of his generation, exceptional talent, but I feel his mentality is now bordering to arrogance, and it's too much, I feel. Same I said always about Ronaldo or about Neymar. In that way, I find Messi is humbler, right? So therefore, but mentality is also, if you're a weaker player, with your mentality, you can even it out a little. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Sorry, everyone, for a little allergy, which you call against polls, and therefore a little bit of running nose. So therefore, yeah, have to do these small little breaks. Oblit Bharti has moved on loan to a third division Argentina club. Did you read this news? Is Argentina third division a good level? Ishan, I haven't read it, to be very honest. And Abneet has been playing at the lower levels and around the world. I used to track him actually initially quite a lot when he was playing, tried to help him also in his initial years. But I guess Argentina, yeah, will be it's Argentina, right? So the level will certainly be good. But again, how much is he playing? I don't know what's going to happen. Sanskar, in the Anwar deal, both club owners had ego clash. I think one of them had easily leave Anwar, but sadly their ego come in that. Sanskar, again, I've said this multiple times. Ego, of course, yes, is a topic in here, but it's about money. And why should Mohun Bagan, if you think from Mohun Bagan standpoint, if from Delhi FC, from Manjunath points, saying, listen, I want to transfer the player, give us a little bit of money, not even a little bit, give us more money and we'll sign a deal. Period. Right? Mohun Bagan, as I've said multiple times now, Mohun Bagan have a deal and they think, you know what, we're very happy with what we have. Why should we bother about changing anything here? So therefore, and then you have a one-sided termination, unilateral, which you can't do. You have to find a mutual agreement. So, and the mutual agreement would be, if there is no termination clause, that whoever terminates early, either you settle for a figure, or you have to pay the rest of it, or you have to pay back the rest of whatever. But you have to find a solution to it. And both sides don't want to find a solution to it. That's simple. As we run machines, how would you rate the Mohun Bagan management? I mean, okay, great, they're signing players for money, but I don't think it's superior like signing national team players and benching them. Doesn't that happen around the world? And if you're one of the top teams, or if you are the top team, uh, you know, you would try and sign the best players. So from that perspective, they've been successful. They've been winning titles over the last 10 years. So yeah, they've been doing a good job, period. Ishan, for the first time, I've seen such a large scale consensus. A lot of people are happy that Spain won. Yeah, yeah. BCI has IPL, but they never ignore United India. Now, women's India A is going to Australia, but here's air for you. No focus on U20. Yeah, but again, they have the money also, no? Prasenji, that's another thing which we should not forget. Sanskar Nikolaos has scored 100 goals in top 10 European league, and he starts his career very early in Europe. Is it true or not? If it is true, then I think he should deserve Jason level hype. Yeah, he's 32. He's a top striker. He's played in Greece. Was it Brentford even at some stage? So yeah, he's a good striker. He has to prove himself now. But again, it's Mumbai. It's not Kolkata. So therefore, it's much less hype. So therefore, let's see what he does. Ishan, sir, you were spot on regarding Jude Bellingham's ego. A lot of articles have begun to surface saying that he's not liked by his English teammates, as only one friend, Trent, in the team. Yeah, it was. I've heard even that in Dortmund they were very happy that once he was gone. So therefore, that thing, that positive arrogance to that negative arrogance, that line is very, very thin, very, very thin. Why Indian business don't own foreign football clubs? Very good question, Dark Knight. asked myself this question quite a bit. I guess in certain markets, I think you would be scrutinized financially. I think, you know, um, so therefore, yeah, that would be my only. I don't know. I really don't know why they don't invest in foreign teams. Is Anwar Ali scenario happened in the Premier League? Well, it's happened in every league around the world in some sort of form. Asri Ravish is not hyped because NSF signed him. If it was Mohan Bagan, East Bengal would have been the same like Jason Cummings. Exactly. That's the point, right? That's they hype it. The fans hype it. The media hype it. Mumbai City does its job. Again, last season, if you saw the hype around the last 2 matches, you'll think that Mohan Bagan is going to win everything, and then Mumbai City loses the shield, but then wins the cup impressively. So therefore, these are the realities of things, how they are, right? So therefore, yeah. So therefore, yeah. That's another reality of things. What I haven't said the whole evening, or what I should be doing, that is, those of you who haven't, please like this video. Let more people know that we're doing these regular evening lives. Subscribe to arunfoot. Share these videos, and yeah, let's let more people be part of our community. Ashikurin, how do you rate overall technical physical? Is it good in pressing? He has speed. He can take on a man, but he has the same deficiencies as most Indian other footballers. So do you think Indian clubs should start taking inspiration from Uzbeki clubs and start signing players from East Europe like Slovakia, Serbia, because I think they can perform better than the current one? Asif Ramesh, we've been signing players from Serbia, from Montenegro, from Croatia. They've been coming, right? The Leskovic's of this world, right? Drincic and the others, Damjanovic. So therefore, they've been coming. Sir, can Indian players play in Eastern European football leagues like Serbia, Croatia, Romania, etc.? Nishant, they can, yes, but are they good enough? Sandesh Jingan failed, for example, in Croatia. Asif, I'm saying from players means players almost same level or better than some hype club striker, but apart from Mumbai City, nobody even know who is that player. Yeah, but that is good, that's the good scouting from Mumbai City, right? With the help of City Forward Group. So therefore, they are doing their job. The others are doing the transfers indirectly via the media, via the scrutiny. Mumbai City, some of the other teams in the ISL are doing good work, good transfers, and few or no people actually are aware that these transfers are happening. So therefore, that's a good job by the clubs. That's something that one needs to keep in mind. So therefore, yeah, good job, Mumbai City. Uppsala. Luna or Valskis, who's a better striker? Murali, Luna is not a striker, he's an attacking player. So therefore, Valskis any day is a better striker. That have you heard that Bhavani FC Pro India Academy won a Liga Youth Tournament Malaysia? Yes, I've heard, Parash. Yes, I've heard. Prasanjit, RKM is going to I League 3. They replied today on my comment on Insta. They are also sending teams in both boys and girls in Surutu Cup. They have defeated teams from Nepal and Bangladesh and past there. Good. So it's good for your state, right? Sir, nowadays young Japanese players have almost become common in European leagues. A good example what good youth development can lead to. Ishan, 100%. But it's not been a case of, last few years. I remember my hometown team, FC Remscheid, in the 1980s, used to play second Bundesliga, and they signed a Japanese player then. Used to be a Japanese player called Okudera, who used to play at Cologne, Werder Bremen. Boom Kun-cha used to play for Frankfurt and Leverkusen. So they've had these players from Japan and Korea, even from China. Jiaji Shao was playing here, Sun Ji-hai playing Man City. So you've had players from that part of the world playing in Europe at some stage. So therefore, that's something that's been happening. So therefore, yeah, one has to sort of differentiate between them and others. Sorry. Sanskar, do you think only two midfielders will play in Monmouth Woodruff's 4-4-2 formation means Bose, Ashish, and two foreign centre backs, two foreign striker, Liston, Manvir? So Only there is space for two players. Sanskar, let Mohun Bagan finalize their squad. Let's see what Molina comes and says. Molina has still not started preseason training, and then we can have these conversations. It's still, I know you guys love to have these conversations, but to me, as is with the Indian national team coach, when we can have those conversations when there is a conversation. People want to create conversations on things. This is one thing I always say, and you need to learn, is that people want to have conversations about things without even knowing what's my final squad, what are the options. So that's why, let's see. Sir, thoughts on the new head coach education signed by FF Ishan. Vivek Nagul, yeah, again, you're staying within the Indian system, but he has some experience having worked in Africa as well. He's been with RFC for a long time. Coach educator. That's the right word. Been within the system, so therefore, someone who's been there, who's done it all, seen it all. So therefore, let's see what Vivek can do. How far foreign exposure improves the national team unless we have strong development system? Exposure is always good. Strong system or weak system, exposure is always good because you test yourselves against other styles, against potentially stronger teams. Palash, and here we have Mohun Bagan East Bengal creating new teams every year without a solid planning. Why they are not sending their teams to these type of youth tournaments, no one knows. Palash, there are two things that Bhawanipur has a tie-up now with La Liga Academy, therefore they've sent it there. So therefore that's the reason. And yeah, that sums it up. Prasanjit sir, do J League and K League pay more than ISL? Then why our players don't try to go there at least, if not Europe, maybe in their second division even? The top players certainly are paid much more in the J League and the K League. Yes, surely that's the case. But for us, why would just think the other way around? Why would a Japanese or a Korean club, take an Indian player? Simple question. Why would a J League or a K League team take an Indian footballer? I think the simple answer is there is no logic to that, right? And that's the problem for us, that as much as we would like our players to go into such a market and play over there, I think it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult for an Indian player to even think, even going into the second, maybe even the third tier of Japanese football. So what do you think about change of entire staff and more considering it's Champions League? Must be run machine. Sometimes you have that. You see how much Mumbai City have changed the squad this season. It happens. And let's wait and see what Molina and his coaching staff can do. Yeah. Rohit, we've had foreign players from Africa and Asia come to play in I-League for many years now. Why don't any of them settle in India and become Indian citizens? I only know Arata who stayed. Rohit, Arata is a different case because Arata is a person of Indian origin. His father is actually Indian. So therefore, Arata is not the typical player. A lot of them stay, but to get Indian citizenship is very, very difficult. We've had now, I remember Chimo Keri was open to the idea of playing for India. Odafa, I think, at in his prime, was open to playing in India. But they're not getting passports, right? So we have Ansuman Akroma, for example, who's not well at the moment, has married a local Bengali girl, is now staying in Kolkata. We've had options, but none of these players has been given a chance. Let's see. I wonder if there are consequences. The federation functions properly. The head running football and focus on the political career power. Sanskar, Mumbai City signed ex-Arsenal player, Inter Milan player, and now Greek top league players come mostly doing good in transfer market. Yeah, Sanskar, they're doing well. Yeah. So therefore that's work for them, right? So therefore, let's see. Mumbai City have done their homework, and let's see if it works out for the team. I would hope so. I think those who support Mumbai City will hope that it works for them. And again, they've been doing this for years. Even we tried to do it when we started Mumbai City, so I hope it works. To Chinese Football League, when disaster signing big player that didn't sustain. Morally, to me, the Chinese Super League imploded to some extent due to two reasons. One was COVID, and the other was due to COVID. A lot of Chinese companies have had financial issues. That's the real reason. It's not the football which was the problem, but that the owners of the clubs, in regard to corporate owners of the clubs, had financial problems. Therefore, you were suddenly in the situation of saying, "Hey, listen, we can't pay the salaries anymore, or we have to actually pull out." And at some stage, I think, if I was right, I think 16 out of the 48 top tier teams were disbanded. So, I mean, think about it, that Guangzhou Evergrande won the Champions League twice in Asia. Was suddenly no more there because Evergrande collapsed. So therefore, these are realities. So I wouldn't say it was signing the big players. Sanskar bro, Tiger Shroff only come as club phase, media hype, or they're serious about football. Sanskar, I can't say that at this stage, to be very honest. Tiger Shroff, yes, seems to be a face. I don't know if he's invested in it. I haven't seen that much. So therefore, let's wait what Mumbai FC does, the new club. Let's see when they start playing, how far they can get. Palash, want to know your views on Mohammedan signing this year. They have managed to keep things under the radar. See, Palash, I think there are two things to say about Mohammedan Sporting. I think Mohammedan Sporting has one issue, in my opinion, and that is that they still haven't confirmed their ISL entry. I don't know if anyone has read anything that Mohammedan Sporting has paid or not paid, but is there the financial guarantees which you have to show, 100 crore financial guarantee, bank guarantee, which has not been shown so far, if I'm correct. So therefore, that is one, and therefore, let's wait and see what Mohammedan Sporting do. Right? To me, to have Mohammedan in there will be interesting to see, and then let's see what they can do. They've tried to bring in players, I know, but they're trying to do it rather calm and quietly, and not do it with so much hype as their two bigger rivals in Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. Is there salary cap Mumbai Kolkata financial muscle? More, there is a salary cap, but is it really working? I would think no. Bro, after 2020 COVID time, our clubs also struggling finance, especially in that time. Sanskar, our clubs have been struggling since the day club football has started in India. We are in a totally different thing. The Chinese clubs were generating revenue, right? So for me, it's this comparison doesn't hold if we want to compare ourselves to China. So therefore, let's see. We have our own battles to fight. The Chinese have their own battles to fight. So therefore, let's see who's more successful. Tiger partakes in sport himself, so my hope is that he will invest his time and resources more passionately in this. Vaishnav, first of all, welcome back. I would hope so too, but again, I'm not sure. So therefore, let's wait and see what with this new Mumbai FC what happens. Again, it is hyped up by social media because it is Tiger Shroff. Because yes, he loves to play football. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. What happened, SK? It was just fake news spread by media, or SK really interested? Sanskar, to me, there is no news. I don't think SK was approached. SK didn't say, I want to invest. And Mohammedan Sporting has been going around to try and find potential investors. So therefore, I don't see him coming forward at the moment. If it happens, I guess we'll all be suddenly surprised one day, bam, Shah Rukh Khan is invested in XYZ club. Do you think leaving the hosting rights of Asian Cup 2027 was a blunder from AFF? Prasenjit, I think it was. I think we should have stayed in the fight with the Saudis, and whoever the AFC would have chosen. But I think we should have stayed in the race. But again, our AFF management of the time thought otherwise. Which ISL coach is best according to Owen done decent in Chennai and FC? As I told you, Mora, I know you very often want to know who's the best in this, who's the best in that. Very difficult because we have some very, very good coaches. So let's wait and see. Owen Coyle surely is in there. Sergio Lobera will be in that mix. I would have said in the past, Havas in that mix. Peter Krutke already in the few months has been very impressive. So let's see. Rohit, ISL should recruit more PIO players to come play in India. For example, Yan Danda, similar to Arata, if they love living in India, they will get an India passport and end up playing for national team. Rohit, Arata needed 5 years to get a passport. And if PIOs come to India, they will come as foreigners. And Yan Danda still has the dream of playing Premier League down the road. So therefore, I don't see someone like him coming. Our problem is if we start a PIO scheme, the best PIOs, the cream that we want for the national team, those guys will not be coming to India. Very unlikely. So that's another reality. Which is the best foreign ISL striker you have seen? Only, if I look at style and flair, most probably it would be Diego Forlan. If you look at, other big names came, but I think Diego Forlan would be most probably the striker, or Korominas at Goa, those kind of guys would be the top. Or now the Jixon possible to join East Bengal increased exponentially due to a major personal reason now as well. Hopefully soon. Pujon, let's wait and see. I thought last year he had joined Mumbai City. He didn't do it in the end. Let's see what Kerala Blasters do, if they can change it. You also know Mohan Bagan is in the mix. We don't know if suddenly Mumbai City or maybe Bangalore suddenly could come out as well. Again, as long as it is not confirmed, it's not a transfer. If East Bengal can get Jixon, that's another piece in the puzzle that would strengthen the defensive midfield massively. But then again, let's wait. Oops. Sorry. Ishan, sir, given making money is really hard for football clubs. What keeps world football going financially? Pure passion, CSR, like activities looking for football as marketing or soft power. See, in other parts of the world, you're making money, no? Football clubs make money. In India, it doesn't. Sorry. So therefore, this clubs in Europe, the big clubs, not the big clubs, but across a lot of clubs make money. So therefore, this comparison is very difficult. India is one of the few anomalies where you nearly make no money. That Mohammedan got a co-investor housing company from Kerala, I guess. Palash, sorry, as with Hyderabad FC, only when the official confirmation comes that investors come forward, I would believe it. This has been an ongoing thing with a number of teams, investor here, investor there. Suddenly, none of them come in. Sorry. I just won Ranbir versus Tiger Shroff in the ISL. Let's hope Tiger clubs get success also in future. Maybe a new club does not matter which club, Kolkata, Mumbai, or Delhi. Sanskar, let's hope. But again, you're getting a little ahead of your time. Let's see what happens. Vaishnav, a lack of interest in football as a collective and the club's ability to consistently fill up stadiums hurting their chance to draw in investors. All spectator events earn based on the fact that they catch a lot of eyeballs. Yes and no, Vaishnav. Normally, I would agree with you. But to me, our problem is a different one. Is that spectators is nice to have in a stadium, but more important is your television, your revenue from television. And therefore, your viewing numbers are more important. So if you have, let's say, 10 people in the stadium, but you have 1 million people watching it, then that is more of value. If you've got, 50,000 coming to your stadium, but you have 50,000 watching it, it doesn't work. If Professor Patel continues president, we would have good chance with Second Association Cup. Dark Knight, theoretically, we never know. So Peter Kutke's best coach, because I see lots of the coach are struggling from get best from Indian players. Peter has given results with Indian players. That's why. Mad respect for him. Peter Kutke has done very well, but for me, but let's see what he does in this season, because he now has to rebuild a team from scratch. So this will be a test. Why was a player from Equatorial Guinea banned? Why is FIFA so lenient towards European but harsh towards others? Arijit, where does this come from? Again, out of context, tell me a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know where you get this thing from. Rafa Quevedo and Brand playing style similar. I personally feel. Your thoughts? Rafa Quevedo and Brandon, yeah, could it's a stretch. In my opinion, it's a huge stretch. Punjab owner is underrated. I mean, they does not get that much credit they should get. Okay, Sanskar. Do you think people not paying attention in your football due to lack of results on poor performance? That's why we lack money. Uh, I wouldn't say so. Again, we had results last year, right? Did it change anything? Right? There was this the social media perception was there, but did it change anything? No, it didn't. For me, it's not changed anything. The numbers need to be much, much higher. Our numbers are way too low. Hi, Abhishek. Welcome back. Good evening, Neil. Welcome back. Shoka, sir, why is that clubs like Mohammedan, Inter, Kashi, Kashmir have more fans and views spectators than most of the other teams? Also, Dempo. Mohammedan is a club which is over 100 years old. So that's one. Inter Kashi, I don't know how you get that. Inter Kashi, yes, gets a lot of traction, um, you know, and uh, Real Kashmir has, yeah, decent fill up in the stadium, but again, it's not that much. Most ISL teams have more fans than Real Kashmir. Um, Spain saved football yesterday. Oh, Neil, I've spoken about it early on. Yes, they saved football yesterday. Sorry. FIFA is the most lenient towards oil countries, not Europe, and there are multiple instances. Define examples. Again, leveling allegations is easy. Give examples of what you think, why they're lenient to those countries. Would be very interesting to know because, yeah. Personally, people say we need 18, 20 team ISL, but they don't understand we don't have that large pool of quality players. If we don't do 20 team league, it'll become diluted like CFL. Prasanjit, very well said. I've been saying this for a while. Arijit, why is India doing well in other events like TT, badminton, hockey, athletics, but so far behind in football? What's future in indoor soccer in India? I heard a player from Guinea was banned. Um, Again, you heard a player was banned. Why? Again, context, guys. Just don't pick up something and then think you have information on your fingertips, right? Because football is the toughest sport in the world. 200 plus countries playing it. Very simply said. Indoor football, if you're talking futsal, yes, yeah, and that's just um, so therefore let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens, and you know, um, it's going to be yeah, it's going to be a test if we can grow the game really. But again, other sports much less competition. Therefore, football is, in my opinion, football stuff is. Sanskar, do you think it's good for Mumbai City to shift their club to Kolhapur and maybe Kolhapur FC? No, not at all. You are in Mumbai. You are in the financial capital of India. You have a proper dedicated stadium. I think Kolhapur, which sponsor, traveling, all these things. Let's see. Things where ISL failed. Dark Knight, very simply commercialization. Simply said, you know. Um, that's the thing that they failed. If that was better, then I think who knows where we would be now. So therefore, for me, let's see. Pujan Mithun led EV recruitment team sign Naurim Priyanka Devi for their IWL team. She's Jackson's very special friend, not mentioning Susie. I hope you're understanding growth in interest now. I know, Pujan, what you mean, and I've heard that as well, but I know that I think Jeekson is weighing up his options, and let's wait and see where he ends up. Again, East Bengal has done a very good job with their transfers so far. Jeekson would be another, as I said, another puzzle in that, but he has options. So now it's about, yeah, it's about money at the end of the day, right? So if the Blasters give him that offer that he thinks, again, we are sort of in an indirect Jeekson situation, but I know the Blasters in that case are open to saying, if you offer us a right transfer fee, we're willing to do that. They did it with Prabhukan last year, they did it with Sahal last year. So therefore, that will be interesting to see. And of course, there is interest in Bibin as well. So the question is, do the Blasters keep Bibin and Jeekson, Bibin or Jeekson, or do both of them potentially go out? That's the interesting case. That will also show how much of a commitment the Blasters have in trying to, push. Is it really the case that AFF doesn't have money? I think financially we're in a much better state than most Asian nations, but still can't utilize it. We're very poor with utilizing it. Yeah. To me, Showcast, yes, because our cost base is higher than in a lot of countries, and that's another problem that we have. So therefore, let's wait and see. The cost is high, and we do a lot of subsidization. There's a lot of subsidies being given to clubs, federations, state associations, this, that, everything. Yeah, let's see how they run it. We have financial infrastructure and logistics to host AFC and FIFA at senior level because AFC match not up to the mark? Murali, we can host a World Cup tomorrow. FIFA World Cup tomorrow, AFC Asian Cup tomorrow. We have the infrastructure, and in that, we even have the manpower to do it. So therefore, that's not a problem. What are your expectations on Paris Olympics of India's performance? Dipan, I've seen, to me is, let's wait and see. I think it's can India get more medals? That's the first question. Can India get more gold medals? That's the next question. There are certain potential athletes. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Ego Steamer just saw on Twitter that Chauva Devi was influencing players' transfers in IWL and was promising them to sign for a particular club to secure a place in national team. Horrible. Well, if that's true, very horrible. Yes, you're right. Should not happen. And therefore, this is the clash. That's why I'm saying this clash of interest of being national coach and being a club coach is, in my opinion, a problem. Or having been with a certain club. So therefore, I want in the men's team and the women's team someone to come in who is independent of all of that. So there were some tweets regarding mismanagement Copa of America final. I want to expect better from USA. No, Ishan, it's not USA in my opinion. It's CONMEBOL, the South American Federation, who's come to the US and wants to run the tournament. So it's not USSF as the national body or CONCACAF, which is the continental body. So the blame is not on the US. The blame is on CONMEBOL. And these things are not an exception. They've happened at Copa Americas a few times in the past. The Guinea player played Spain U23 at 22, hence his 12-year-old career was scrapped. The nation was docked all points it earned in African Qualification World Cup. That's why I asked. A player from Guinea was banned because he played 2 minutes for Spain U20 in his youth, and after so long playing for Guinea, he was banned because he can't represent Guinea because he was playing for Spain. There are rules and regulations, again. And it doesn't matter who you are. And if this player has done what he's done, he probably was talking about Emmanuel and Sue, exactly. Yeah. And this was not communicated at the time. So that's the problem. Why Mumbai City does not get Sahal Thapa in last year? Sanskar, simply because they didn't want to pay the salaries that Mohan Bagan has paid or is paying. You remember Shane Warne, Mark Waugh left scot-free, but Shakib Zadeta Arjun was punished in cricket for similar crime. See, Arjit, I don't know cricket, and I don't know what they've done, who's done what, why. Don't ask me. So again, if you want to take in ICC is not FIFA. Listen, the FIFA has banned India. FIFA threatened Brazil, the record world champions, of suspension because of influence from courts. Spain, with the whole thing regarding the president kissing one of their players after the Women's World Cup last year. Spain was threatened of suspension. So FIFA generally treats everybody the same, period. But there are exceptions because it depends on how you defend yourself. And if you sometimes some of these people don't defend yourself, it will not work. Eric Patru said in interview answers easy league compared to any league he played. Yeah, he can say that, right? What would be your advice to Jackson? Where should he go for his betterment? See, Igor Stimac, that's a good question. I would actually say I think it might be best for him to stay at the Blasters. If you ask me, I would think that for him, I think that would be the best. I think one more year, and then think about maybe going to another team next summer, because it's. But again, the question is how under Store, how ambitious are the Blasters, and that's another question, right? Because they've banked a little on the younger players, so it's going to be an interesting thing. I would have said stay at the Blasters and then see what makes sense for you. East Bengal makes more sense than Mohun Bagan to me because East Bengal has a requirement in a holding Indian holding six. Yeah. So that would be one. And yeah, he was talking to Mumbai City last year. Apuya now gone, so maybe there is also a requirement. Mohun Bagan looks to me like no, but again, they now suddenly might have a requirement in the centre backs, and Jackson can double up. But for me, I think Jackson should stay in the Blasters if he can. But again, who am I to say that? I said Mumbai City FC also had a big fan base to shift Kolhapur. Sanskar, if that's the reason for teams to shift to A, B, C, D location, that's not the reason, right? For them, Mumbai is home, and Kolhapur, with all due respect, but it's not a potential ISL venue. What do you think about BFC team for upcoming season? Neil, some interesting signings, some strong signings, some champion signings, but let's see how far they can get. Arman, will we ever see players playing for India in a lifetime? Arman, very good question. I can't answer. I've been trying for the last 23 years to get players of Indian origin to play for the Indian national team. Nothing sadly has come of it. Nothing has sadly happened. So therefore, let's wait. Until 2019, I thought ISL is a success because the national team was going to next step, but then there was huge dip, which means national team coach matters. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Yeah, percentage 100%. It's not the league, yes, but it is also a national coach can decide of where you go, where you don't go. Look at England. England has now played 2 finals. Have a quality team, but with the way they played, they never deserved to win the Euro. Sorry. Afghanistan player forced to play abroad. That's why they were better in India last few years. I feel they're not forced to play abroad. Some of them were forced to leave to live abroad and then became football players. Murali, right? And therefore, yeah, their football basics are better. How do you see next cycle of the Indian men's national team? What are future prospects? Aman, I would like to see first who becomes a coach, and then we can speak about prospects. For example, who does he call up? So therefore, for me, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Also, Sunil has retired. Are there other players who would retire, or are they going to stay? Let's see. Do you think lack of trust also reason Mohun Bagan Super Giant versus Anwar happened? Both parties does not have to trust in each other. Sanskar, trust, of course, is a factor. But it is also a question of when you sign a contract, both sides commit to something. So that is trust in a certain way, in my opinion. To me, trust is now broken down. And to me also, I feel Anwar cannot return to Mohun Bagan. It does. Because there'll be problems in the dressing room. I said yesterday, maybe that will spill over even into the national team. So let's see what happens. So yeah, that's the reality. Thank God Thapa Sal do not come in Mumbai City FC. Yeah, Sanskar. What do you think Ego was doing wrong tactically? How these mistakes could be corrected by the future coach? The first question is, what do you want to play? How do I want to play? And I think tactics is something which the new coach needs to figure out how he wants to play. Do you want to play a 4-2-3-1? Do you want to play a 4-3-3? Do you want to play a 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever, 5-4-1? Options, right? Tactics is to me is not. It's I think mentality is the first thing, right? That's the first thing that we need to change. US can't sustain football league until MLS was introduced. Yeah, Doc, that's very, very true. Ego's team match played a crucial role in 1998, but unfortunately played a crucial role in Indian football downfall too, Arijit. Yeah, that can be said. You said India can host international, but we have only few good stadiums, or we upgrading stadiums only at time of hosting event, rest of time neglected. We have enough good stadiums. Look at the stadiums in the ISL, right? Kolkata has a good venue. You can go Nehru Stadium in Delhi. You could go DY Patil has hosted. Goa has a good stadium. Kerala, of course, would have to do some work for it to be upgraded. Kantirava needs some upgradation, yes. You've got Chennai in there as well. So we have already a few, right? And then a few more, and then you sort it. Why India don't arrange friendly with African countries? It's not always easy to arrange friendlies. Again, nowadays around the world, the schedules are much more strict. Sorry. The schedules are much more stricter, so therefore it's not easy to do that. And of course, there's a financial implication as well, so that makes it quite tough as well. Do we really need to take football? Do we really need to take football pan India? I mean, we could make a pretty solid team even if we focus on football hotbeds like Kerala, Manipur, West Bengal, etc. Yeah, but that's not how it works, right? You you automatically don't take it pan India, and again, suddenly a talent comes from, I don't know, Kashmir, Rajasthan, Andhra. Will you not deny that? So the system needs to be open. Deepan literally saw Darwin Nunes with the chair beating Colombia fans is playing in Premier League. How can he do that? If that happened in India, it would be a national interest after all the negativity. Deepan, if I understood it right, he was defending his family, or the Colombian players were defending their families in front of Colombian fans, and that's it. How do you rate South America country infrastructure logistics? Not as good as India. How do you rate Scaloni of Argentina out of 10? I would give him most probably a 9. Can't IPL franchises take up Indian football? They might attract better football talent, at least from Japan, Korea, or Gulf, if not Europe. Your thoughts? They're not interested. They're going global with T20 leagues. They're not interested in football. And do you know any footballer in world football playing at the top level who's insanely talented but doesn't have the basics right? Nah, Arman. You have to have, yeah. Um, um, no, I would always say that you have to have a certain level of, your basics. If you don't have your basics right, it's going to be difficult. So therefore, I think most top level players' basics are good. Why can't Sunil Shetty become mentor to Indian football like MS Dhoni? Arijit, it can happen in the future. Yeah. So that's the thing. DY Patil can good option for football stadium in future because Mumbai already have so two good stadium. Sanskar, DY Patil was the home of Mumbai City in the initial years, right? We played in season 1 at the DY Patil. Yeah, so DY Patil has hosted football, be it uh, Mumbai City, be it under 17 men's World Cup, be it under 17 women's World Cup. So yeah, it's one of those venues. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Bro, that is cricket, and still they would lose money. And also, IPL happens for 1 month. ISL will be for 8 months. Manchester are not focused on youth development again. Yeah, Deepan, that's a reality. You think Tata Football done good grassroots past compared to today grassroots development? Morally, their focus was youth development, not grassroots. They focused on players from the age of 13 to 18. So therefore, no, that wasn't their focus. Is the upcoming ISL season the last one? Arman, the danger is there. So let's wait and see. I'm saying for most future or long term, Leo Patel can be a good option. Sanskar, they've played there. I'm telling you, they have this is it has been a home for Mumbai City. So the aim would be to find a location in Mumbai, not in Navi Mumbai. So that's another thing. How do you rate Uruguay, Colombia, Venezuela against top European sides like England, Spain, Germany, and France? I would rate the Europeans higher. I would rate all of these higher than all of the mentioned teams. I would even rate them higher than Brazil at the moment. I think Argentina is the one that can challenge the top European teams. Maybe Colombia, and then Sumit, is there any roadmap for Youth League and ISL for U20 or U17? No, you have them under the AFF now. So you've got the uh, under 13, under 15, under 17 youth leagues, uh, and you have the RFDL developmental league, which is sort of a reserve league. So yeah, that's how it's structured. I think Salt Lake is fine, but Mumbai Eastbourne should have a separate stadium. Blue de facto needs to have a stadium, which is the Maidan grounds, but yeah, that it has of course its shortcomings. I'm not saying these players had bad basic, but at least below average than your academy players. Adil Tabat and Yannick Bolasi, God gifted player, but lack of football understanding. Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be. If IPL franchises take up ISL, then all cup win Mumbai Indians because Mumbai owner and Pakistan owner same. Maybe can be fixing or referee can favor Mumbai Football Club. Sanskar, again, you guys are having a theoretical discussion about IPL owners coming into the ISL, and that at the moment hasn't happened and is not happening. So therefore, there's no need of having that discussion. There is no requirement. Do you think women had good chance if the Asian Cup COVID hit us bad? Yeah, we had a chance, but we did not utilize it. That's one of our problems. Yeah, we could have gone to the World Cup. Um, we wouldn't be talking about things the way we're talking about it now. I think things would be different, but yeah, they are the way they are, and it's very, very difficult now to see us. I think we've lost 2.5 years. We were better then, and you know, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, and yeah, let's see where it goes. How it progresses. Right, 1 hour 38 minutes, guys. Um, Brandon Osal for me, it's Brandon. Those of you who have not liked the stream, uh, who have not subscribed to arunfoot, please subscribe to arunfoot, share the videos, look at the other videos we've made. Quite a few shorter videos on different topics like Spain winning the Euros, on the whole Anwar situation. I've made a few videos as well. So therefore, have a look at those, and and let's see. How do you see women playing abroad more compared to women? I think the standard gap is less than in the men's game, so therefore, women, Indian female footballers are playing in Europe, and of course now in Australia as well. Can I really give tough fight to Uruguay, Argentina? Can they be the surprise package of 2026? Why Copa lost its popularity so much? Even 20 Copa was much bigger. Orijit, first of all, you might have thought that the Copa is much bigger. Again, I think there's limited interest in large parts of the world regarding the Copa. The Euro has been and is a much bigger tournament in that way. And Canada under Jesse Marsh with the talent that they have, who knows? Host country playing at home should make it from the group first of all, and then let's wait and see how far Canada can go. Canada has potential, and we will have to wait and see how far, as I said, how far Canada can go in this tournament. They could be one of those surprise packages in 2 years' time. Yes, I truly believe that that they have the bandwidth to be a surprise for everyone. Isabel was not playing well. That why Copras? No, I don't think so. I don't think that is that it depends on Brazil playing well or not. I think in an Indian context or in a South Asian context, there's a huge support of Argentina and Brazil. But in lots of parts of the world, they don't bother that much about Brazil and Argentina. I think that's an interesting thing that might be a perception in South Asia about it. But look at the Copa, not being able to sell its rights also. But yeah, those are the realities. Right, 1 hour 40 minutes plus. Do you think Salt Lake Stadium is international? Yeah, of course. Listen, it hosted a FIFA Under-17 World Cup final. Of course it is. How can we increase the pace of ISL? Naresh, for that we need, I think, better players. Maybe even later kickoffs in the summer months, which will not happen. But again, those would be. Out of all the candidates applied for Indian national tour, your top 3 in your opinion. Sumit, I'm seeing more and more coaches saying that supposedly they've not actually applied. So to me, I am going to keep my opinion to myself. I'm going to wait till the shortlist comes out. Let's see what the shortlist is, and I'll pick a top 3 from the shortlist. Because a lot of people are saying a lot of names, but supposedly within the AFF, some of these things have not even been discussed. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see who are on that shortlist and who gets picked from that shortlist. Well, it's 8 o'clock here in Germany, 11:30 p.m. in India. Once again, those of you who have not, please subscribe to arunfoot. Those of you who are who haven't liked the stream, please like the stream, share it. As I said, there are other videos as well on the channel to watch from the last few days. And yeah, thanks once again. Blue, good night as well from my side. Good night to all of you guys. Plan is to be back tomorrow evening. I will certainly do a shorter video on Anwar and not Anwar, on Jeekson and his transfer situation. So let's wait and see, and yeah, let's grow the community. Thanks a lot, guys. Good night.